Hello everybody, it is time for another live stream from old Caroline. So what we're going to do this week is we are going to be playing with the O.R.B, and we are going to be visiting Planet Pchkntwl and seeing what happens when we add humans to it. So let's go into the planet right now. The last time that we saw this planet, it was doing pretty well. There were plants and animals all over, and it seems like most of the planet is deciduous forest and rainforest. I'm gonna lock it in orbit so that I can see a little bit better, and let's zoom in on some of these animals. We've got some nice capybara and a jaguar over here, and over in the deciduous forest we've got black bears and we've got deer, and everything is all very happy and nice. And so let's ruin it with some humans. So I added one human settlement right over here, settlement 3387. It is a nice settlement right on the coast, nice ocean view here, and it is currently a tribe size. So what we need to do with these humans is we need to make sure that they have enough energy to satisfy their needs while not totally destroying the environment around them. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the technology tab and see what they've got going. So currently, this settlement can install a wood stove, a coal-fired generator, a water wheel, and a windmill. So some of these technologies are a little better than others. The wood stove and actually all of these are pretty okay. I'm a big fan of the windmill. So what I'm going to do is I am going to install, let's say one windmill. No, two windmills. Yes, two windmills. Confirm. And now we've got some windmills in our settlement. So, unfortunately, the settlement needs a bunch more power than what we are making right now. The human happiness is only at 55% because there's not enough energy. And if there's one thing that makes you grumpy, it's not having enough energy. So we got to keep adding some energy-producing technology. We're currently running at almost a 1,000 megawatt deficit here, so let's put some coal-fired generators in here. We'll see if that'll help, and this will tell us how much energy it will produce for us. So let's try that, and let's see how we're doing here. We'll wait for this to update again. All right, so we're doing a little bit better. So all those coal-fired generators, those are helping us out a little bit. And let's just have a look over here at the amount of greenhouse gases that we are producing. So we're at 68 right now, which isn't too bad. We are also currently at 6 billion years plus 43 and 11 months. So let's keep an eye on how long we're going to be on this planet, because whatever problems we create will probably get worse over time. So we're starting at like 43 years, and we'll see what happens as we move on. All right, so we're still running in a deficit power-wise here, so we're going to have to put some more energy-producing things in. So let's see. That is not enough. I do not want 2 megawatts. I need big megawatts here. Yeah, that's getting there. That's getting there. All right, we can get up to 300 megawatts. And you can see when the map has updated over here, so that's helpful. If you don't see your changes taking effect quite when you think they should, once this goes back to 0, it means that the game has received whatever you have told it, and indeed we are at a deficit of about 670 megawatts. So, as you can see, also the human happiness has risen a little bit, so that's cool. They're still a little bit unhappy because they still don't have enough power for their Game Boys and whatever stuff they also have. I guess they didn't have too much. 6 billion, 43 years and 11 months. So I want to add more technology, but I don't really want to add any of these. These are just not cutting it. I need big numbers to take care of this deficit that we've got going here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the technology tree and see what kind of technology I can invest in. So we've already got wood stove, water wheel, windmill, and coal-fired generator, and we can look at what sorts of what the build cost is, how much it's going to cost us in research points, how much greenhouse gas it will release per week, and how many natural resources it will take up per week as well. So let's compare the wood stove to the coal-fired generator. Coal-fired generator takes up 4 natural resources per week, and it creates 4/100ths of greenhouse gas per week. So let's see how that. So it's about the same as the wood stove greenhouse gas wise. However, the wood stove takes up fewer natural resources. So that's cool. Seems like that's the better one to go for. What about the water wheel? So the water wheel is nice because it doesn't produce any greenhouse gases, so it isn't going to ruin the planet. We can put all kinds of water wheels down and it's not going to mess us up. It also doesn't take any natural resources because water is a renewable resource, so we can just put them down all we want. Unfortunately, it doesn't generate that much power. It's less than 1,000, which is just not what we need. We're less than 1 megawatt, I guess. If I say kilowatt and megawatt and such wrong, I'm very sorry. It is an inexcusable lapse in my math knowledge. Anyway, let's look at the windmill. And the windmill is a pretty good piece of technology. It runs on air, obviously, which is a renewable resource, so no greenhouse gas to worry about, and it generates a pretty decent amount of power. So that's pretty cool, but it is not enough. So what I would really like is maybe some solar panels. What would it take to get some solar panels? So as you can see, this is all grayed out. In order to get solar panels, I need to look here at what it's connected to, and it's connected to this power grid. So in order to unlock the solar panels, I'm going to need a power grid because the solar panels won't run unless they have a power grid to help them out. And this power grid is it's going to cost a little bit to just purchase the technology. If I just leave this, the humans are going to spend their time just trying to research this technology until they have received, or until they have figured it out for themselves. But I am impatient, so I'm just going to purchase it. There we go, and this is going to cost me 226 research points. Luckily, I have over 100,000 because I asked the developers to give me a bunch of money, so I'm just going to say confirm purchase, and now we've got a nice power grid. So now we have unlocked these 3 lovely technologies with which to help our humans achieve their ends of having enough power. We can also look at this gas-fired generator. This does produce greenhouse gas, but it produces a lot of power as well. So what could go wrong if I purchase this technology and start putting it everywhere? All right, so we're going to back out here, and we are going to click on Settlement 3387. And we're going to add some new technology, and now we have a gas-fired generator is available, and you'll notice that power grid isn't here. That's because power grid is it's a passive thing. You need to have a power grid, or the ability to make a power grid before you can put certain technologies in. But it's not a thing that you like place in your area. But I want to put a gas-fired generator down, so I am going to say one. No. I'm gonna put 4 down there. All right, and there they are. Cool. And yeah, let's just not worry about that greenhouse gas because we're trying to try everything out here. All right, so let's see the status. They're at 85. They're almost happy enough. They're still running at a power deficit though, so I'm just going to fix them up with a bunch more gas-fired generators. What could go wrong? All right, there we go. Is this what we need? Needs to wait for it to refresh. Oh, we're almost there. All right, and I don't want to totally destroy the environment, so I'm just going to put a bunch more windmills in here. There we go. And you'll notice I am being real cavalier about the number of technologies I'm installing, and that is because I have a lot of money. I have over 100,000, but when you play this game, you're not going to have that much, so you must be careful with what you put down into your settlement. All right, so now we are actually running with some surplus energy, and our humans are happy, finally. So that's good. And so yeah, then we're still at 43 years and 11 months, and our greenhouse gas doesn't seem too bad. So I am going to zoom out and I'm gonna adjust the time scale to centuries. And I am definitely going to, woof, I'm gonna turn that off. That is too much flickering, can't handle it. All right, so now we're at 44 years. So where time is passing, and the greenhouse gas is also increasing, but I'm just gonna let that go for a little bit. Because I want to see what happens if the greenhouse gas gets released too much. So we only have one human settlement right now, and that's not enough. I want another human settlement. So you can put another human settlement wherever you want, and this one, I don't want to put it there. I don't want to put it in the middle of the ocean. I want to put it in the forest. So I don't want it too far away from my other settlement. I don't want to be scrolling around. So let's put it on this coast. Nothing wrong with building on a coast when the climate's about to change, right, everybody? So let's confirm that. All right, so now we've got settlement 4229, and the humans are just devastated. Oh, here they're half happy now in grades. All right, so we're gonna go to the technology again, and we're just gonna make this place lousy with gas-fired generators. 15 of them. There we go. All right. So we're going to wait for this to update to see where we're at. And there it goes. So we're only at 100 in deficit here. And I guess I'll make up the difference with some windmills. There we go. And we'll see how that suits you. Okay. All right. I love the little rain effects here. Look at this bear. This bear's checking out the this gas-fired plant over here. What do you think, bear? This can't be anything good, right? All right. So now it's been 54 years since humans came to the planet, and our greenhouse gases they're increasing, and now we're in the modern era, so that's cool. Our human population has upgraded to the modern era by inventing the hydro dam. And as I said, they will research technology on their own. You don't have to pay for them to unlock technology. They'll just do it a lot slower. The humans living here have made their old tech a bit more efficient, but they'll have a higher demand for energy than they used to. Such is the way of progress. And of humans, greedy beasts. All right, so let's zoom in here and have a look at our settlement. And as you can see, it's changed a little bit in size. It didn't used to be this big egg shape. And the population is now at 43,000. And let's zoom out here so we can see a little bit better. Let's see what the population is here. This is only at 32,000, so it's about 10,000 less. They are now running at a deficit. They weren't before, so they just invented this cool hydro dam. Why don't we just put a hydro dam in here? There we go. And this is very expensive, but it's nothing for me. A wealthy person. There we go. All right, so now we've got a nice dam over here. And what's your energy looking like? Settlement. All right, so we're at a pretty big surplus here, so these humans should be happy for a good long time. And let's go over here and look at 3387. And oh boy, they're running at a big deficit, but they're still grateful, which I appreciate from these humans. Oh, that must look cool. Look at this water spout that's formed over the water over here. All right, I am going to add a hydro dam for this settlement as well, and see how that does for them. How's that make you feel, you guys? Let's wait for that to. All right, so we're doing much better. And we've got, it looks like they have invented a wind turbine as well. Let's go with new technology that we have available to us. We've got a wind turbine, we've got a nuclear power plant, that's pretty cool. And that looks like about it. So that's pretty neat. Let's look at what other things we can do here. Oops. So we have hydrogen cell factory, we've got solar power panels here, that's pretty cool. We can also do a wind farm. So we've got all kinds of options now that we are in the modern era, so that's cool. We're in the futuristic era. Well, that was fast. That was a pretty fast era. And it only took like a decade, too. That's cool. So our human hot population has upgraded to the futuristic era by inventing the wind farm. And the humans living here have made their old tech a bit more efficient, but again, they will have a higher demand for energy than they used to. Such is the way of progress. All right, and once again, the little building has changed. in shape, and we have some more tech available to us, so that's pretty cool. And let's see what their deficit is. Oh, they're not running in a deficit, so that's cool. They're very happy. All right. And what about these? Oh, look at their little. They're on a mountain right there. That's cute. They've popped right up onto a mountain. And how are you guys doing? Oh, you seem fine. All right. So we've got our two little settlements over here, and we've got our greenhouse gas amounts. They are rising, and I'm just gonna let them rise for a little longer. I want to see if I can get the shoreline to recede a little bit. And the reason why the shoreline will recede is the more greenhouse gases that is produced by the not renewable technology, or the not clean technology that is being produced by these settlements, the more quickly global warming and climate change will happen. That'll melt these ice caps up here and raise the sea level all over the planet. So what's happening is some of these not clean burning technologies that we have put all over our planet, they are releasing greenhouse gases. As you can see, it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. And the more greenhouse gases that are in the atmosphere of the planet, the more difficult it is for heat to escape the planet. So the sun's rays, they're always coming down on the planet and warming it up. That's very nice. And usually in a healthy scenario, they'll stick around for a while and then they'll go back out into space. But if there's too many greenhouse gases, they'll come into the Earth and then they won't be able to leave, which is why we call them greenhouse gases. In a greenhouse, the heat comes into the house, but it doesn't really leave, which is why you can have, it's also sometimes called a hothouse. You can have flowers in there that wouldn't survive in winter time, but it's because heat can come in and it can't leave again. So the more greenhouse gases, the hotter and hotter the planet is getting. It's like just piling blankets on top of a person who's already too hot. And that makes the polar ice caps start to melt, and that raises the water level all over the place and it creates more severe weather patterns also. And it's a bad time for everybody. And so we're just gonna let that go for a little bit. And we haven't unlocked millennia or mega anims quite yet. So there we go. Should we add a new settlement? Maybe we should add a new settlement as well. Let's put one down here. There we go. I want one of these things to fall in the water. That's what I want. All right, so I'm gonna click on this, and there we go. So it is at quite a deficit. And this settlement, I think I'm going to make this. I think I'm going to make this one a nice clean settlement, because in a minute we are going to have some problems with the greenhouse gas, and I don't want to worry about a bunch of settlements all over the place. So let's put like not five. That's too many. Let's put 2 hydro dams down. There we go. Confirm. All right. There we go. And we'll wait for this to update. And there it is. And now they are operating very nicely. I like those big hydro dams. Look how big it is. Okay, very cool. And oh, I think that the shoreline seems to be encroaching somewhat. I can't tell, but yeah, that's definitely in the water a little bit in a way that it wasn't before. And this seems a little closer to the water as well. Oh, by the way, which I should have reminded everybody, the length of days here is 38 hours per day. So the days and nights on this planet are longer than they are on Earth. The planet's exposed to the sun and not exposed to the sun just for longer. So it may be partly why the planet is half deciduous forest and half rainforest like this, but let's check our axis tilt. So we're at a tilt of 38 degrees here, which is a little bit cockeyed. So yeah, that's what our stats are right now, basically. And so yeah, and the green, oh, global temperature is rising due to greenhouse gas. Who could have predicted that? That's no good. All right, so, oh, whoops. Sorry, I just totally ruined this whole continent. This whole continent is just ruined now. I thought that would happen more gradually, but No one expects climate change to happen. That's a lie. Everyone expects climate change to happen. 99% of scientists expect climate change to happen the way that it happens. All right, well, we got to fix this. So we're going to go into the technology. I put way too many gas-fired generators down. I am going to get rid of them all because those were not clean. Can't be dealing with those. They are not clean. So what kind of a deficit does that put us at? We'll wait for this to update and see if there even is a deficit. Oh, and there isn't. That's really cool. So it looks like we didn't even need those generators. We were ruining the planet and for nothing, which is just too bad. We've got some coal-fired generators as well, and that is also contributing to our problems. So we are going to put that down at 0. And let's go back to our status and see if that has had any effect on, all right, so we've still got enough energy to keep these people quite happy. However, we are living on a barren continent of nothingness and sorrow and tears because we, we went a little overboard with the greenhouse gases. So these people are, well, they seem to be making the best of it, so that's nice. I'm glad that those people are still happy because the jaguars sure aren't, because as you can see, all of the plants and animals, they are gone now. All right, so let's go over here and see if we can fix what we've done wrong here. We have this hydro dam. That is perfectly good. It is not producing any greenhouse gas. And we're going to make this 0 gas-fired generators. There we go. Get a nice little rebate on our tech there. And that was all that we had going. So let's see. All right, and we still have enough. We still have enough power, so that's good. And yeah, so that's what's up. Unfortunately, there is no way to remove this greenhouse gas. Now, in real life, what happens is climate change can be combated to a certain extent by plants. And that's because carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It contributes to, it's good for some carbon dioxide to be in the air, of course. That's perfectly natural. But when there's too much carbon dioxide, which is one of many different greenhouse gases, methane is another one. It's one of the gases that can make the planet too hot. Oh, hey, look, we are healing the planet as we speak, and it looks like a temperate forest has reemerged where once there was a rainforest. So that's really great. That's great that the planet seems to be healing a little bit. Not quite the way that it was before. There's not a lush rainforest, but there is a forest, and badgers and wolves are coming back to the area. So that's really great. Anyway, what I was saying was about plants. Plants can help with help combat climate change, and just not so much combat climate change as keep things in stasis on Earth and on other planets, but we only know about Earth having an atmosphere and whatnot. And this is because plants consume carbon dioxide to make the food that they use to keep themselves alive. They consume carbon dioxide, and they use that to make glucose. And it just so happens that the recipe for glucose, it calls for water and it calls for carbon dioxide. And when you mix those two together in a plant way during photosynthesis, you will wind up with glucose. But you end up with some oxygen left over. You have too much oxygen from the water and the carbon dioxide, so the plants just let it go into the atmosphere, and that becomes oxygen, which of course is what we breathe, which is convenient. Thanks, plants. And it is what many animals breathe as well. These badgers and these wolves are also using oxygen, and oxygen will not harm the planet the way that carbon dioxide will. So it's important to have a lot of plants on your planet, or you will, a barren planet would be susceptible to climate change a lot more quickly than one that had a lot of greenery like this one does, thankfully. One thing that is a pet peeve of mine is I've been seeing in sometimes I'll go to the grocery store, or I'll go to a store that sells houseplants, and it will have a sticker on the houseplant saying, purifies the air, as if it's a special type of plant, one of those cool plants that uses carbon dioxide to purify the air. You can buy whatever houseplants you want, but all plants will do that. That's not, if there's a sticker that says, we'll purify the air, that is not a special thing about that particular plant. All plants will do that, and that is just a marketing tactic, and it is a pet peeve of mine. So do not be taken in by this spurious marketing. It is true, but it's just, it's silly. It'd be like saying, oh, look at this, look at this person. They have, they're able to walk on two legs or something. Like, well, yeah, most people can, so I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine, so stop doing that, plant sellers. Stop saying that a normal plant thing is a selling tactic. It's shady. All right. So looks like the planet is in a lot better shape than it was when we got to it. And let's check on our settlements here. And it looks like they still have more than enough power to be happy. There's still 100% happiness, and the population is thriving. And here as well, it looks like they have enough power and they are at 100% happiness. And here also, so yeah, we're doing pretty good. Let's look at our tech. We have all of the tech. We've unlocked all of it, from industrial to or from agricultural to futuristic. And one thing that you might want to note is that in the agricultural era, two of the technologies actually use renewable resources. The water wheel uses water to power itself. The windmill uses air or wind to power itself. The wood stove does burn wood, and that's not the cleanest, healthiest thing you can do for the air. It does contribute to pollution. However, during like the agricultural era on Earth, this was done in such a small scale it didn't really hurt anything. It was okay. And this looks like a lumber mill. This picture looks like a lumber mill, but the wood stoves that were used were just like single ones for a family to enjoy. They weren't big factories. Now, in the industrial era, that's when we got really, really good at producing power with non-renewable resources that were very bad for the planet. So coal is one. We learned how to get coal out of the ground and learned how to make it into energy for us, and that worked very well. We were able to thrive as a society and have a lot of new inventions and things. We also polluted the planet a bunch, so that was not great with the coal that we were using, and we also it was mostly coal, I guess, that was happening with that. Also, back in the industrial era, which was around like the 19th century, there weren't any real laws about preserving the planet. There was a lot of deforestation that happened, a lot of poaching and things. We thought that the planet would always be there, and it would always be the way that it had always been. It would always provide for us, I guess. But that, if you play our weather and climate module in Taito Online, you will there's a graph that we show everybody where that will show the average temperature throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, and there is a huge temperature spike that happens, especially after 1950. This is when cars became widely available. Cars started being widely available in like the mid 20th century, and cars have a lot of greenhouse gases that they emit, and then everybody started getting cars, and the whole pollution mess got real bad real quick. So there was a big temperature spike, and so yeah, it's been bad ever since. And it is only relatively recently in human history that we've realized that, you know, these big ways of producing power using non-renewable resources, they are nice, but they're not sustainable, and they are bad for the environment, and they do ruin things that can't be replaced. So it is very important for everybody to take care of the environment, and sometimes it can be challenging to strike a balance between the planet's long-term needs and, of course, the planet's needs. They span centuries, they span millennia, and balancing that against the needs of humans. Humans need things on a daily basis, they need things on a weekly basis, and most humans don't live longer than a century. Most humans don't even live to be a century old. So reconciling those two timelines can be challenging, but it's something that we need to work on. And yeah, hopefully we can keep a planet that is full of these lovely trees. Maybe have a few more biodomes than 2. We've got like 2 or 3. I'll take more than that. That's fine. There's no savannas on this planet, which is too bad. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because there's so much ocean here that is contributing to all the rain that we're getting, but it's a pretty rainy, wet planet. Maybe I put too much humid air on. Well, no, there's not too much humid air, but I did put a lot of humid air into the planet. when I was first creating it. I guess there's a tiny little taiga up there with a single caribou. Pop quiz, what's the difference between a caribou and a reindeer? I will wait for somebody to answer in chat. I will wait as long as it takes. I won't. I'm not going to wait as long as it takes, but I will wait a little while for somebody to answer in chat. What's the difference between a caribou and a reindeer? I'm just going to turn the planet around whilst I wait. All right, that's enough time. Trick question. There's no difference. A caribou is the same thing as a reindeer. So, you know, Santa just drives a sleigh with all of his caribou. So yeah, that's basically the planet. And the reindeer are domestic, says Elijah. Reindeer, yes, they can be domesticated, but there really isn't any difference between a caribou and a reindeer. They're really the same animal. So yeah. I believe that the Latin name for caribou/reindeer is Rangifer tarandus, which I know because when I was in 5th grade, I got a little booklet of North American animals, and I said to myself, I'm going to memorize the Latin name of every single animal, and I did not do that. But I did memorize the one for caribou, so if I got that wrong, I will eat my hat, because I thought I remembered that from 5th grade. All right. Well, that's about it for our planet, I think. We've fixed it. We were able to create 3 settlements and mess up the planet real good and then get it back on a good track when we switched from the polluting technology to the more clean technologies. Also, this has turned into a city from a tribe. It started as a tribe and now it is a city. There's over 600,000 people living there. Our little city on a hill here is still doing pretty well. And what are they looking like right now? Oh, they're at town level right now. So they're also getting bigger, and they also have an energy surplus. And let's look over here at this one just to check in on it one more time. And this is still a tribe. So yeah, that's about all that I've got. This, I think, is going to be a shorter live stream today, since I could just keep adding towns, but I think you've pretty much seen everything that the towns can do. And oh, hey, it turned back into a rainforest. Isn't that nice? All right, so that's about it. And once again, I want to tell everybody about the art contest that we are holding. We have gotten some lovely, lovely submissions to our art contest so far, but we want more submissions. And so yeah, I don't think that there's a deadline right now. So people can just keep on sending us their artwork. You can go to TidoOnline.com, visit our student webpage, which is listed on the main page, and you can submit your art there. The prompt is "The View from My Planet." So have a look at that and give us your art. Give us all of your art. We want it. If you are 15 years or younger, you can submit your art to this contest. We really want to see it, and winners will have their actual art featured in the My Art Museum in Tido Online. Yes, that means that if you are a winner, you will be able to call yourself a video game artist, because your art will be in a video game. And if that doesn't make you a video game artist, then I sure as heck don't know what does. So send us your art and play some more Tido Online, and follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And let us know what you think about live streams. Let us know what you'd like us to do in the future. Next week, I am going to be going back to the Hilo and doing some stuff in there. So yeah, tune in again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. And I'll see you all there. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye everybody.